Hi guys, welcome to my yarn stash. Today I want to do a completely different video than my usual knitting podcast. I want to clear out my yarn stash and make it a little bit more tidier, neater, make room for some new yarns, and also make room for more sweaters because I store my sweaters and knitted tops over here and I'm running out of space. So I'm going to pull out some yarns of my stash, maybe declutter them even, or store them somewhere else. I also want to sort through all my scrap yarn because that's also getting a little bit out of hand. So yeah, I need a little bit of a clean slate. So I have a cup of tea with me, or like a pot. If you know, you know. I drink a lot of tea. I think this is going to be a long video, so grab yourself some nice hot drink and some knitting, and I hope you enjoy me rambling about all my yarns and I don't know, talk along, talk a lot about everything that's here in this cupboard. I'm in my bedroom, by the way. I'm standing at like the foot end of my bed. So I'm laying over there, and this is the first thing that I see every time I wake up or when I go to bed. And I do have to say that's such a joy. I can recommend that to everyone. I'm living by myself in quite a small apartment, but I've reserved uh, quite some space for my yarn stash because it makes me so happy. I'm sorry about the lighting, by the way, because, well, it's fall here in the Netherlands, and that means that it's grey all day. Well, there was a little bit of sun this morning, but unfortunately it went away. So we'll have to do with this, and I really want to clean this out today. So I have these IKEA Billy shelves with doors, and here are all my sweaters and yarn at the top. And then the other side has most of my yarn stash and goes down a little bit more. It's hard to see or to show in one frame, so I'll insert a clip here of me giving a quick overview and then I'll go in depth with everything that's in here. So yeah. So let's start with a quick overview. Here on the top shelf, here are my sock yarns, and left of that is a sweater quantity in a maroony dark eggplant color. Then I have 3 shelves with all my knitted items that I still own. Not all of them, all my garments. So not my scarves or hats or socks, but all my sweaters and tops. I have a knitting book on the right. And then for the rest of my yarn stash, here I have a little crate full of cotton yarn that I once got at the Purchase at my local yarn store. I have some leftovers over here, but also I'm not really sure what's on the top shelf. The next one is full of yarn for summer tops. So I have Sandnes Garn Sunday, Knitting for Olive, as you can see. It's quite full. This is the shelf for my Sweet Shop blanket, so my contrast color and my main color. Here I have some yarn for my Esther jacket, which I'm just about to start with the buttons. Then this is the shelf with probably the most beautiful yarn. This is mostly my hand-dyed yarn over here and some summer yarn. And these are like what's left. So I have some Isager, some mohair, kampgarn, Peer Gynt left over, and some yarn that I'm using at the moment. So this is a really quick overview of my yarn stash. So now let's get in depth and clean all this up, tidy it up, and make it ready for the next month. Okay, let's get started. The idea that I have is that I want to clear all the yarn from the top shelf over here, so I can use 4 shelves for all my knitwear, and then the summer tops on top, and then have the sweaters over here over 3 shelves with room to spare because I'm working on 2 sweaters and I've planned for so many more sweaters. So I want to reserve some space for the sweaters over there. Next, I really don't know what's on the top shelf of this, but I want to clear out a little bit of it, make this a little bit neater, and probably condense it a bit more, like squish more yarn on one shelf. And I know I have some Peer Gynt on the way, a sweater quantity of Peer Gynt, so I want to reserve some space for that as well. And yeah, I don't know. So this basically, by the way, is a yarn clean video, but also what's in my yarn stash. So I hope you enjoy. Also, in the end of the video, I want to show you what I want to do with all my scrap yarn. I have like one box full, shoebox full of yarn. I know in here there is yarn, but also other things. And I have this container full of leftovers. So I don't know, I want to deal with this. The problem, well, one of the advantages of being short, I'm really short if you know, like this is quite high up for me, is that I have to use less yarn, but most of the time I don't know how much yarn I need. So when I buy a sweater quantity according to the pattern, I always have leftover. So I'm really trying to buy a little bit less yarn, but most of the time I still have like a skein or two over. So that's why I have quite a lot of scrap yarn, and some of the yarn I've been keeping for maybe a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years even, since the beginning of my knitting journey. So I want to deal with that. Let's start with the fun things, and the fun side is this side. I think I want to start over here for everyone that wants to watch the beginning of the video. I'm going to pull some stuff out. I think this is going to be chaos. So the first thing that I have over here is some dark brown Go Handmade Soft, which is a blend of bamboo and cotton and a little bit of acrylic. Yeah, 70% bamboo, 23% cotton, 7% acrylic. It's a sport weight yarn, so 50 grams is 180 meters. I really like this dark brown chocolate color. I bought 3 skeins of this in a sale at my local yarn fair. You will probably hear that saying a lot because before I moved to this place in this city, I had a yarn shop like in biking distance from me, Bolplein in Zaltbommel, if you want to know. And they had lots of sales in the beginning of my knitting journey, so I bought quite a lot. But in the end, I prefer different yarns now. I like a little bit more high-end, more better quality yarns. So this is really soft and it feels nice and it has a nice sheen, but this is so soft that I'm afraid it will peel like crazy. It's quite loosely twisted. I mean, it unravels really easily. I thought I would make a summer top with this, but now I have some other dark brown yarn for a summer top. So I'm going to destash this. Let's just do that. I'm putting this, well, somewhere. I don't know what I want to do with the yarn that I'm going to destash. Maybe I want to sell some of the yarn, but probably most of the yarn will just go to a charity shop. Next, I have 2 skeins of Zwarte Ferret Tencel Blow. I got this at a yarn swap a couple of months ago. It's not too long ago. So this is a blown yarn in a beautiful bluish color. This is 58% Tencel, 42% alpaca. So I like that. I mean, Tencel is, I believe, wood pulp, so it's a plant-based fiber, and alpaca is nice and warm. My thoughts on this were to make a honey washback with this. I'm quite obsessed with that pattern, to be honest. But now I'm not really sure. I'm not ready to part with this, I think, because it would make a cute hat or a little scarf thingy. I don't really like blown yarn. I feel like that peels quite easily, so I don't want to make a sweater with it. But this is for a little accessory. it can be cute. So I'm going to keep this, but I don't know if I want to keep it up here because like I said, I want to make some space. Then I have my leftover Novita Woolly Boots. I made a champagne cardigan with it. It's laying, I don't know where it is. Oh, it's up here. Which is a nice navy color. This is a DK weight yarn and it consists of 70% tencel, 30% merino, so a tencel again, which makes for a nice cooling, cool to the touch summer yarn. It's a chainette style yarn. My camera won't be able to show that. The one thing with this yarn is that it grows like crazy. And I've had that happen to me twice now with the cardigan, but also I made a red poppy tea with it, if you remember. And that one grew so much that I really don't like this yarn anymore. I had some plans to unravel, like frog the whole champagne cardigan, because I feel like it's a little bit too loosely knit. I mean, look how see-through it is. So when I wear a white t-shirt underneath it, it's quite see-through and I don't really like that. So I thought I can unravel this, re-knit this in the same yarn because I have enough left over, and then use a smaller gauge. But I know I'm off gauge with this one as well because I used only a DK and you need to do, I think, a DK plus mohair. Do I say that correctly? Like minimum of a worsted weight. So now that I had the problem with the poppy tea, I don't really know if I want to use this yarn again. Oh, that's hard. I don't think I'm going to frog this project. I'm going to wear this until I'm sick of it. If I want a new champagne cardigan, I want some nicer yarn. Something that I know will last me probably more of a lifetime. Well, I'll fix this later, not now. So, do I keep this for a gift or something? Well, the problem is, if it grows so much with blocking, then it's not really a reliable yarn. The blue one didn't bleed as much as the red one, I believe. But it's just really unreliable. What do I want to do with this? I have, this is 225 meters and this is almost that. So I probably could make a top with this. I'm not sure. I'm going to lay this with my scraps because basically it's a scrap, but sometimes I put some scraps over here in my yarn stash if I have a little bit of a plan with it. I'm not sure. I'm putting this with my scraps. Then, whoa, I think it's going to be a really long video. I have 5 skeins of Lana Grossa Cool Wool Big. Bought at the sale. And this is 100% superwash merino. 50 grams is 120 meters. So it's a DK weight yarn. And my thoughts when buying this was that I would make a scarf with it, like Sophie shawl or something of that size. I have a really nice cobalt blue, like long winter coat, like a wool coat. And I thought a light blue scarf would go great with that. Well, I have this yarn in my stash for a year and a half now, 2 years. Still have no plans on knitting on this, so I'm not really sure if I want to knit on this. Superwash yarn grows a little bit more and it's not the favorite anymore. I don't really like it. I think I'm going to destash this, but I'm going to put this aside for now. I don't want to put this back up here again. I mean, it looks, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's prettier in life, I think. But I don't know. I think I'm going to destash this. Then I have 4 skeins of Katia linen, which is 53% cotton and 47% linen. It's in the black color. It's quite a rough material. It's a DK weight, I believe. 50 grams is 110 meters. And I had plans for an Ebba bag by Gregoria Fibers for this. I bought that pattern maybe 1 year in my knitting journey, and it's an open lace thing bag. It looks almost like crochet, so when I wanted to knit that, I was really scared of the pattern. Right now I think I'm totally able to do that, and I reserved this yarn that I also bought at the sale. But I have those plans to knit that ebo bag in this yarn for 2 summers now, and I don't know if next summer will be the time that I knit this. I really don't know, but I like the idea of that bag, and I like it in black. Maybe I would like it more in a brownie color, so maybe that could be the reason to destash this and just buy the yarn when I'm ready to knit that. It feels like I'm thinking about this really easily, but I'm quite good at cleaning up and clearing out, and I don't want to say throw away things, but like the Marie Kondo, I did all that. It doesn't serve its purpose anymore for me. The money has already been spent. I do have to say it wasn't a lot on this, but I want to be happy with all the yarn that I have in my stash. So for now, I think I want to destash that. Next, I have this crate with cotton yarn that I got when I bought something at my yarn store above like 60 euros or something. It's cotton DK from budgetyarn.com. I don't know, have never used it. It's a 40 gram skein, so 96 meters. And now I feel like I want to get this out of this shelving thing. And I haven't used this once, and it's probably in my stash for 2 years. Like, it looks really cute when you do it like that, but then it takes up so much room, and I don't really have that. But I do want to make some cute little accessories for my, well, the Dutchies maybe know, I live in Den Bosch now, and I'm going to Carnival for the first time. And Carnival is like a big celebration. It's, I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to assemble my own jacket. It's in the style of Oeteldonk, and I need some red, white and yellow flowers I want to make, and maybe a little bit of a green frog. So I think I'm going to use this yarn for that. And for now, I'm going to take that out of that space because it takes up so much space, and I want to use some of this yarn. I don't know, it looks cute. So that's the top shelf empty. And for now, this is probably the only thing that I'm keeping from that. Then I'm not going to destash a whole lot more. My most recent purchase, aside from the dark brown Peer Gynt that's on my way, is this Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Poppy Blue. I bought this in Utrecht a couple of weeks ago, and the plan is for either a little scarf or like a hat, a weekend hat or an Oslo hat. Or maybe if I don't want to knit that this winter, it will be a summer top, because blue brings out the blue in my eyes. So I really like that. This is, like I said in the overview, my summer top shelf. This is some Knitting for Olive, let's see, merino in wild berries. I also got it at the yarn swap that I told you about. So I got 1 full skein, and 2 skeins are a little bit used already, but I think this will be enough for 1 summer top. So yeah, I like my pink. And speaking of pink, the last Knitting for Olive yarn for summer tops that I have here is another pink yarn. I have 4 skeins. I bought this in Copenhagen last year when I was there. It's the cotton merino in terracotta rose. There was a sale somewhere going on, and I couldn't resist, and I thought back then I probably needed around 3 skeins, maybe a little bit more, or if I wanted to make something with sleeves. So I bought 4 to be sure. Right now I think I like camisole number 9 a lot, so I want to make some more of that, maybe with this yarn. And if I compare it, this is Terracotta Rose and this is Wild Berries. So Wild Berries is definitely more plump, and Terracotta Rose, like the name says it has a little bit more of a muted brownish undertone. I think this one suits me better, but I like this pink. And it was on sale. Then I have 4 skeins of Sands Garden Sunday. I think this is Dusty Olive. The code is 9071. This probably will be a camisole number 9. I really like that. And I really like this green. It's the same green as my storm sweater, which is laying over here. But that is double Sunday. And yeah, I see myself knitting this. Then the dark brown, which I told you, for a camisole number 9. So it can be a summer top, it can be a layering piece. And this is one of the petite knit colors from Sunday, 1391. Is this then called Cacao Nips? Maybe. I don't know what the color name is. I know that the dark brown that I ordered is the color dark brown and not Cacao Nips, because dark brown has a little bit of a cooler undertone, and this one definitely is a little bit warmer, but I think for top it will be fine. So that's a summer top. And lastly on the shelf is another batch of Sunday, 6 skeins in the color 9062. I don't know what the color name is because I bought this in a store. Well, Atelier Tilburg, by the way. But it's like a pistachio greeny matcha color. I bought this with the intention of making a Barbaro blouse with this. But now I'm a couple of months later. I'm not really sure. Maybe it will be a summer top. Maybe it will be a Barbaro blouse. I don't know. But I like this yarn. So it probably will be fine. I can split it into projects. I mean, I can make a hat with this. I can make probably quite a big scarf with this. Like a fingering weight scarf, if I want to. I don't know. I like knitting sweaters. So that's all in that shelf. I don't know where I want to put this. For now, let's go to the next one. This is the shelf for my sweet shop blanket. So my contrast color is all Knitting for Olive, aside from one color, I think. And then the main color is Filcolana Arvetta, which is a sock yarn. But I believe this is one of the yarns that Laura Penrose used herself. Oh, my throat. So this is the color Marzipan, by the way. And I have 8 skeins left here. I know it's not enough for a whole like blanket style, blanket format. This, by the way, is how far I'm at. I haven't worked on this for quite some time now. So this is my color palette. I really like this. It suits my house really well. So I can show you, this is Plum Rose. Yes, Plum Rose. The Terracotta Rose. I don't know, I need to have the skeins. So we have Plum Rose. Terracotta Rose. This is Copper. I have Nut Brown. Mole. And I have Rust. This is Dusty Olive and Bordeaux. So these are all the contrast colors that I selected with quite a lot of thought. I started in Copenhagen. I bought, I think, 5 skeins in the sale. But then I realized I didn't have enough for a whole blanket. So I ordered all those colors, 1 extra, but also a couple of extra colors. And I have one bag alongside my project bag with all the skeins like that I already used a little bit of. So I do have quite a lot of yarn for this blanket, and hopefully I will pick this up soon, because I mean, it's really pretty. I really like the colors that I picked out. It's quite nice. It will be so beautiful. And I like all the Knitting for Olive yarns. And I like that I treated myself to Knitting for Olive yarns for a project like this. For me, it isn't a scrap project. This is like purposeful knitting. So let's clear this. And I think I want to move this up to the maybe the top shelf even, because I really like seeing this yarn, but I don't grab it all that often. I mean, I really need to start this project up back out of hibernation first, and then I have my bag full of the yarns. So let's put this on top. And I already need to stand on my toes to grab. I'll put this down there prettily, but I think I want to keep it just one shelf for that project. It's the easiest. So the shelf below it, I think, will be the summer top shelf still. So I'm just going to put this back in. And I mean, the best thing would be that you can see all the colors and the skeins and like it's a store, but I don't think that will fit. But then I do have 2 skeins left. 1 skein. That's there. And now I have the blue poppy. It doesn't fit like that, so what I want to do with that, maybe just put it over the top shelf so I can see it a little bit more nicely. For now, let's leave it over here. Then here I have my shelf for my new Esther jacket. So I have some skeins of Isager Highland Wool and Isager Jensen, both in the color 0. So I think this is the undyed version, I don't know. I just swatched this morning. So this Jensen is basically like 2 skeins made into one. So it resulted in 2 cakes. And this is the swatch that I've made. So I'm knitting on needle size 5. I think it's fine. It's a lot more rustic than I would usually go for. I mean, like all the Sunday and Knitting for Olive yarns, that's quite soft. And this is a little bit more rustic, but it looks really pretty. So I'm really excited to start that. So 1 skein of Jensen and 2 skeins of Highland Wool are already out of my stash. And I'm working on that at this moment. Put that away. And I want to have some room next to this, I think, for the brown Peer Gynt. I'm going to move this up a shelf. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will put the blue yarn over here. That's fine. This shelf is a little bit less high. narrower, so I don't think I can fit 12 skeins of Peer Gynt. I have the buttons already for the Esther jacket. I'm just going to keep them over here because otherwise I'm afraid I will lose them. I still have like a gift I got at the Breidagen from Helene Design. I bought some yarn from her, and then you get cute little stitch markers, and this is I think the third one I have from her, so it feels a little bit like a collector's item. I need to put this at my knitting tools. Then lower, but I'm not going to move the camera, is my shelf with firstly some summer yarn, 5 skeins of BC Garn Bio Balance. I bought this at the Handwerkbeurs in Houten last year, I think. This is 55% pure organic wool and 45% pure organic cotton. It has a lovely grip to it, and it doesn't feel dry. It feels like a little bit fatty almost. I bought 5 skeins. 50 grams is 225 meters, which would mean it's fingering weight yarn, but it really doesn't feel like fingering. It feels more like a sport weight yarn. So I thought I would make a top with this, like a poppy tee or a tee number 1. I made both of those patterns this summer or this spring, and I wanted to decide which pattern I like most, and this is something for next year to knit on. Don't know where I want to put that. And then I have all my hand-dyed yarns here. So most of the hand-dyed yarns are from my friend Fem from the Mindful Creators. I have 3 skeins of her Bouncy DK in Wildflower. The lighting really doesn't do it justice, but it's a speckled yarn. I believe she used 6 or 7 colors. This screams my name. I talked about that in my latest knitting podcast, but this will be a Monday sweater, and I really, really, really like this yarn. So I need 2 extra skeins, but I will buy them. She will unravel one of the skeins and hopefully we'll dye it up the same. For 5 skeins, I need probably 5 skeins. You can't do that in one bath, so you will need to alternate skeins anyways. You need to do that with this yarn probably regardless of the dye bath, but I'm going to have 2 different dye baths, but I'm not worried about that. I also have 2 skeins of that color in Flowy Fingering. I bought this when she came out with this color in her Dreaming of Spring collection, and I was obsessed with it. I bought 1 DK skein and 2 fingering weight skeins, fingering weight merino. The DK skein I am using for my honey wash bag at the moment, and this will probably be a summer top. I don't know which one. Maybe a Camisole number 9 if I want to have this yarn just shine in a simple pattern. So maybe that one, but that's for next summer. I have a skein from, I think it's Atelier Wool Based. Do I say that correctly? I won this one, to be fair, I was at a knit up, like a knitting meetup event, and I was lucky enough to get one of the gift bags, win one of the gift bags. So this is a beautiful yarn that looks like a sunset almost. It is a sock yarn, I believe. I'm not sure even. But this looks like it could be a beautiful scarf. Maybe not for me, it doesn't suit me all that well, but I do really love the color. So this is just being beautiful in my stash. I also have from them, from the Mindful Creators, 1 skein of lovely linen in the color Lemonade Stand, because I was obsessed with butter yellow for a couple of months ago, so I really wanted to use this yarn also because this is her linen base. Well, It has 80% merino and 20% linen. It's non-superwash merino, by the way. This softens up immensely with blocking, and it's already soft. So one skein hopefully will be enough for like the mini mock neck by Jessie Made Designs or something like that, like a cropped summer top. That's my thought with that. So I have enough yarn for summer tops for like 2 summers. And then I have Bundles of Joy. So this is one of the yarns that I also won at that same Knit Up event. This is by Olivia and Oliver Fibers, which is one of the hand-dyed dyers here in the Netherlands, and she's like big. So I always wanted to try some of her yarn, or like it's so beautiful to see. Never bought it myself. This is a mini set called Endless Autumn with 5 classic sock minis, which is a blend of superwash merino and 25% nylon. High twist. And it is beautiful. I really don't know what I want to do with that because I'm not really a sock knitter. But it is quite variegated, so I think this could work in one project. Maybe. I don't know. For now, it's a bundle of joy in my stash. Other bundles of joy are from Fem. And these are cute pink mini skeins. One I got at an advent box calendar gift thing that we gifted for each other. And one I bought myself. That's the most recent one. I mean, look, I like pinks and a little bit of purple. I believe this is from her Valentine's collection. I'm not sure anymore. And I've been starting collecting some mini skeins. I have to grab the correct one. And as you can see, those are all pink, because when I got those pink bundles, I thought, well, how great would a pink sweet shop blanket be? Well, perfect. So I started collecting them. Now I do have to say I don't really see myself knitting this anytime soon. I'm not really sure. But I like them. I'm not going to buy any more of them for now. But these are all from the Mindful Creators. I have some other skeins. This one, I believe, belongs with this one. So it is a sock set then, I think. This is the mini that belongs with that, but this would work in my sweet shop as well. This one was gifted, like a bright neon orange. I have Stracciatella from Fem, beautiful color. This one I bought somewhere on the Handwerkbeurs from Bad Cat Yarn, Bad Cat 2 yarn. I don't really know why I bought this color. But at the event, the lighting was different. Let's say that it's more orangey than I thought it would be. This, also belongs with this. Now I remember that. It's like a mustardy color. And I also have a beautiful green one. So that's quite, I don't know what to do with that, but I like it. And then, well, it's a mess. I have some scraps, but they all fall in the family of like my pink sweet shop. So I have some leftover Field of Flowers from Fem, from my sweater, Wool met Verve, and Almesca red pinkish yarn. So I need to wind it up nice into a ball and put it away in my scrap yarn. And then I have one shelf left, but I do want to have this shelf saved for my new brown yarn, I think. No, I don't know. I want to be able to look at the hand-dyed yarn a little bit more, but also I'm not knitting on this. Let's talk about the last shelf. I do have some scraps over here. This is the scrap of Spring Flame. It's a fingering weight yarn from Fem again. And I made a barber top. I bought 2 skeins and this is what I have left. So more than half a skein left. I really like this and I really want to save this up to use some other time. Don't know what, but this is going to go in my scrap stash. I have 3 skeins and a little bit left of Peer Gynt in this garn. Peer Gynt in the color 6072, which is like a bluish grayish marled color a little bit. I used this yarn for the sweater for my father. I really liked that, but this is enough for a hat. So I'm purposely saving this in my yarn stash so I can knit a hat with that. So that's that. I have 2 skeins of Drops Flora in the butter yellow color. The color name is 26. And I'm working on this at the moment for, I grabbed that even, storm sweater. And this is how far I am. So I only need the body to go. I'm using 2 strands together. So yeah, I have just 2 skeins left. This I'm working on and this, so it will be enough. I will have a little bit of leftover and I probably will keep that because that yellow is really nice. But maybe I will save that yarn in my project bag where I store that. Next, I have 6 skeins of Eastex Camp Yarn. I've talked about that yarn before in knitting podcast because I bought quite some yarn of this in a sale. It's 100% merino. I believe it's non-superwash, but it has been treated. Sometimes it feels a little bit like a superwash wool. I really like this dark, rich green, foresty green color. Again, it doesn't really match with the lighting. And I want to make a slip over with this. I'm not really sure when, but that's the plan. I also have 2 skeins of that Camp Yarn in a butter yellow color because, like I said, I was obsessed and I thought I would make a honey clutch or honey wash bag with that. To be honest, right now I think I have more than enough yarn for those bags. I have made a honey clutch. I'm working on a honey wash bag, and I also bought this yarn especially for a honey wash bag. So this is Isager Merilin, which is 80% wool and 20% flax, which is a fingering weight yarn. Well, 50 grams is 200 meters. And I want to hold that together with Sandnes Tin Silk Mohair in the color 4323. I rarely use mohair because I really don't like wearing it. It itches and I don't like the fluff everywhere. So I thought for an accessory I can use that. And I think this will be beautiful. So I want to, I'm sorry, my hair is really bothering me. This I definitely want to save for a bag. And now I'm not sure if I even want to do it with that. If I'm ruthless, I want to say no, I'm going to destash this. But maybe that's a little bit too soon. And that's all that's here in the yarn stash. I do have that top yarn over here, top shelf. For now, let's put this away. I want to have this a little bit more visible, but like some of the yarn really needs to go on the lowest shelf because that's where some of the yarn needs to go, but it's not that visible. That's the problem I have with that. The green Camp Yarn is going back down there. Next to it, I will do the blue Bio Balance. Then I will put this back just for now, but also I'm going to save the shells for the Peer Gynt and put the other Peer Gynt for the head over here as well. And the hand-dyed yarn I will put on the same shelf, but hopefully a little bit more neat. The scraps are out of the way. A pile of mini skeins on one side. And then the DK Wildflower on top, so that's the most visible because that's something I really want to start working on. So, well, it definitely looks a little bit cleaner, but it's not like all spread out on the wall or something like that, unfortunately. This little bit of scrap I will put over here. Then I have only this yarn that I want to put back maybe. But for now, I think this blue yarn will go in my scrap yarn stash because I'm not really sure. Don't have direct plans with that. But this one I want to tuck in. I think it will end up at the bottom shelf. That's a little bit unfortunately, but it will do. Then next. Okay, the most easy thing is that I want to declutter all the dark maroon color over here. So this is Lana Grossa Cool Wool Big again, the 100% superwash merino in DK weight. It's a beautiful like burgundy color. I bought this at the sale at my local yarn shop and it's a sweater quantity. And a couple of weeks or months later I bought this Lang Yarns Alpaca Superlight to go with that. Like I said, mohair itches. This itches, well, it still itches a little bit in my neck. And I thought it would be a good substitute. 25 grams is 199 meters. But I don't see myself knitting this. I mean, I like the color. It suits me really well. But I have so many plans to knit on. And this has been in my yarn stash now for more than 2 years. Maybe even 3. So I'm going to destash this. And I need a little bit of a break. So I don't even know how many skeins I got. But probably like 12 of these ones and then 8 of the fluffy ones. Alpaca Superlight. So that clears things up. My tea is getting cold, so... Lastly, I have my sock yarn. These are 2 skeins that I also won in the same gift bag. This is from Let's Knit. It's a Dutch hand dyer, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. And it's really cool green with blue sea color thing. I like this. This is really bright. I'm glad it's sock yarn and not something I want to wear. It is a little bit rough, but I like that for socks. So definitely will be keeping this. This is from Wolverhalen, another Dutch hand dyer. This is British wool 4-ply. So hand dyed 100% British wool from Yorkshire. It's Blueface Leicester and Masham. 100 grams is a 450 meters. And the color is Whispering Blue. So it's a light blue color. I really don't know what I want to make with this. But again, apparently I'm into blue hats. Maybe that would be great. Don't know if it's enough, but for now I'm keeping this. Then I have one full skein left of West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. This is a self-striping patterning sock yarn. I bought this in Edinburgh a year and a half ago now. It's the color Mallard. And I thought this would be great for the men in my life, but to be honest, I like the colors. I also bought a skein of this one, and I already made a pair of socks, or I'm working on a pair of socks. I don't know anymore, but this is like my color. Red, pink, blue, green, brown, yellow. I liked it, but it's the same brand. So keeping that. Then in the sale I bought a whole lot of this yarn, which is Lana Grossa Meilenwijd Zigzag. I think I bought 2 skeins of this big pink one, and it's 150 grams is 390 meters. So it's more of a DK weight yarn for DK weight socks. This I believe is Lang Yarn Super Socks, but it's really comparable. It's a little bit less thick. And I also bought that one in green, this one. And I already made some colorwork socks with this. So that's why I'm keeping it for the colorwork socks. But to be honest, I think I have quite a lot of sock yarn for someone that doesn't really want to knit socks. I also have this one, which is hand-dyed yarn in like a neon confetti. Haven't used it. As you can see, it's from a Dutch hand dyer, MYPZ. And I think this will be cool in a colorwork. Like if you have a dark base and then the contrasting in that lighter color, I think it will be really fun. So I'm keeping this for sure. I also, leftover of the pink one, have 2 skeins of Lang Yarns Jabel Superwash, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon, and it has like a little bit of like reinforcement nylon thread in the middle of the skein, so you can reinforce your heel or your toe, for example, in a dusty baby pink and a bright cobalt blue. I really like this, but again, I bought this so long ago. I haven't used it since. I really don't know what I want to do with this. So, well, to be honest, for now, I feel like I want to destash this. But I think I'm going to put some of this sock yarn with my scrap yarn. And maybe I can use this in scrap yarn projects. More for that than sock projects. I have 1 pair of socks on my needles right now, of which both of the socks are in the decrease from the heel flap stage, so I only need to do the foot. And I also have, I think, the second sock of this one on my needles. And I think that's, for now, that's more than enough. So I'm going to keep this one as sock yarn, this. If I think about color work, I like this green one. I like this color. I do want to keep this one, but I think this definitely will be destashed, this full skein. I already have made 2 pairs of this yarn, and this is what I have left. Like, I'm wearing one of them right now. It looks a little bit scruffy. So it's enough. I'm going to destash this as well. And I think the yellow yarn, I think I want to destash this as well. Also because I don't really like the DK mixing with fingering. I rather have everything fingering weight, I think. Do I really want to do this? Yeah, I'm not going to knit a whole pair of pink or yellow socks, so destash that. I like that. So that's all my yarn. But like I said, my sock yarn I want to put somewhere else, not over here anymore, because I want to reuse this space. So let's do that right now. For the next part of this video, rearrange my knitwear. So let's start with the summer tops. I have 2 camisoles number 9, one knitted in Sandnes Quarantine linen, one in Knitting for Olive Merino. I really love this. It made me fall in love with Knitting for Olive Merino. I have a Barbara blouse in basically the same color as that green yarn over there and this one. Only this is Tin Line, so I think it's the same color name, Tin or Dusty Olive. I have a poppy shirt, poppy tee by Petite Knit in Novita Woollywood. I have the Sugarboo Bralette DK by Kadri in I don't know anymore. And this is hand-dyed yarn and it's the Villa camisole, I believe. Don't really like that, but on really hot summer days I do wear them at home. I think I'm going to do the most summery tops on the bottom and then these one on top, because I like the idea of layering these camisoles. That's one stack. Those are not all my summer tops, by the way. I also have another Barbara blouse. This is the Spring Flame version by Femme from the Mindful Creators, and this is the Sailor Swift top in Noro Sonata. Really love that. Haven't worn it, so I really want to layer this. So I think I want to make one pile of layering basic tops that I can layer. Well, I like this order, I think, most. And then the summer tops over here. And then I have the Look at My Holes in a black color. I think it's the same. Is it? No, it's a linen yarn. I have a Tolsta tee striped. I have another Tolsta tee. This one really itches. It's sock yarn. It's my fault. I really like the color. Don't wear it because it's itchy. Don't know if I want to keep it, but for now I'm not going to bother. I also have a black Tolsta tee with some eyelet details. I have the poppy tee. And I have tee number 1 in Kampkar. Also don't really like it. I'm not really good at knitting tees. I want to perfect one tee at least. Maybe that's something for next year, or maybe I don't really like knitted tees. So I would like to have this all in one stack. I do have to say, the thing I like the most is to look at my holes. It's really hard to style and make it wearable for like Dutch weather and Dutch like people. I like it best with a bralette underneath it, but that's quite like out there. So don't wear it as much as I would like, but I really enjoyed knitting that. I think I'm going to put the tees over on top of this stack. Well, it's not the prettiest, but now I have my tees, the poppy and the tee number 1 on top of my summer tops. I don't see myself wearing this anytime soon. The layering tops and then the other tees. Next, loose hair everywhere. I have some thinner knits. So this is a Monday sweater in fingering weight yarn. I do have another one that's a little bit lighter to wear. And I think I'm going to put that on top of my Lee. This is the with mohair or suri, the Lento. Couldn't get the name. Don't really like wearing that because of the fluff. So this is going on top. I need to refold this cardigan. And also I need to put different buttons on this cardigan because the buttons are too small for the buttonholes. But I do really like the champagne cardigan, so maybe I will re-knit this, but not with the same yarn. This is one of my other cardigans. This is the Field Day cardigan by Ozetta. So I'm put that over here. My two favorite knits are my Storm Sweater in Double Sunday and cardigan number 8 by my favorite things knitwear in Peruvian from Vilcolana and Rico Make It Sweet. This is my favorite slip over. This is one of my first knits, by the way. And I have held 4 yarns together, I believe. Drops Flora 2 skeins, 2 strands, Drops Lima, and I think Brushed Alpaca Silk. So this is a little bit fluffy, but I wear this on top of a dress or blouse, and I think I want another one, but I don't know why. But this is, well, this is the best way to show you, a slipover. This is the weekend slipover that I really don't wear, so maybe I want to frog this. This is like an open slipover vest thingy in boucle. My Ingrid sweater and my Lyon sweater. The Lyon sweater I knitted in Drops Daisy, so it pills like crazy, but it's the softest thing to put on my body. And over here I have sweater number 18 in Peruvian. It turned out a little bit too oversized, so I don't really like it, but I still wear it. This is my Elizabeth blouse in Pernilla by Vilcolana, and I have another sweater number 18, but that's one of the first things that I made. I really like how this fits, but I used mohair, and I don't really like wearing it for that reason. It's really hot, and also it itches, but I really love how it fits. So I'm keeping that. I want to have those sweaters together. My sweater number 18s. My Ingrid over here. And for now, this will do fine. I have some room that I can squish and put something in between them, or I can put something on top of them and here below as well. So I think that's fine for now. And now I need to look at my scrap yarn. Just a sip of tea first. And I think I'm going to start with the yarn in the boxes because I don't really know what's in there, and I think it's easier to get rid of things that you even forgot you have. So this is quite a big shoebox. And it has a smaller box even in it. I really forgot I got this. I see some swatches. Like this is the swatch for my cardigan number 8. Love it. Want to keep some swatches. A little swatch for my Lyon sweater. A swatch for yarn that I don't really have anymore, so that's thrown away. This is one of my first cardigans that I made. Maybe for that reason I will keep it, because I just brought that cardigan to the thrift store. I really don't feel like holding on to sweaters, even though I made it myself and it took all those hours. I don't feel like holding on to them. Unless they're really sentimental or something like that, and I would rather frog it, but it wasn't worth it. The yarn was cheap, so I will keep this for sentimental sake. This is my another sweater, don't mind it. This is Novita Woollywood. This is a cardigan. That's fun. Well, don't need that. One of the first sweaters that I made was I believe it was the September sweater by Petite Knit, which is a brioche stitch. I made it in a way too thick of a yarn. I mean, it looks pretty. I also did it in black, but that's one that I also got rid of because it's way too hot to wear. But I like to keep that swatch. Anyways, what do I have left here? I have some blue, I think this is sewer yarn I used for Malento. Don't need it anymore. Some pink Daisy and Flora. Maybe I would like this for colorwork. In my head, I have the idea that I would like some colorwork scrap projects, like the Maxine hot water bottle, or that other hot water bottle cover, like the pumpkin. Is that Pumpkin Spice by Laura Penrose? I would like to knit something like that someday, but I don't need to keep a whole lot of it. So this for now I will keep. I also have red, I think it is Drop North. I will keep that. Pink fluff. I'm not going to use that again. This is pink cotton yarn. Not going to use that scrap. Like, this is what I have left, I believe, of scraps from my Ingrid sweater. It's Peer Gynt. But what do I want to do with this amount? Red cotton yarn. No. This is some leftover of the yarn from my Lento. This is Hand Dyed Yarn by Femme. So maybe I want to save this. I don't know. And I have this left over from Sandnes Garn Tin Line. But it is such an awkward amount. What do I want to do with this amount of Tin Line? Just this. I think I'm going to destash this. This is some, I don't know, rubbish. I think this is going to be the throwaway thing. Then I've made a sock for a man in my life someday. Maybe my brother, my dad, I don't know. I think it will probably be size 42. I used, if I would guess, Lana Grossa Mijlenwijd. It has knitting needles in this, in the middle of the game. Didn't know that. I started the second one. Never finished this. I didn't know I had these needles. 3.25. It feels like a waste to not finish this, but this happens so much with socks for me. So maybe I will finish this. Maybe not. For now, let's keep it. And then I have some leftover I made a hat in this. No, I'm not going to do that. I have some leftover Daisy. I feel like this is a leftover Flora, Drops Flora, in the white color. And I like having this for color work, for swatching. Maybe the Daisy as well, if I want to have DK weight white leftover. And I also have the brushed alpaca silk, and I think this is mohair. But I don't see myself using that anymore. So that's going to go away. This one for now is empty. We'll see. The next box. What is in here? Oh, it's not yarn. Well, if you're curious, I have my neck light. I have bags that I knitted, a yarn ball, some tools in here, and I don't know what I want to do with this. This is, well, this was the first bag that I made. This is the Technicolor tote bag by Petite Knit. The straps really stretched out, but I really liked working on this. I like how you get this effect yourself, but I've never worn this because it feels like everything you put in this weighs it down so much, and it feels like a waste, but it also feels like a waste not using this. And then I wanted to remake it, and I did it with cotton yarn, which was even worse to knit on because that one was a linen blend. So I made the bag. I love the color, like red, maroony color to orange in the middle. I think I made this a year and a half, 2 years ago, and the inside still has all the strands, and I never like finished that. So I don't know what I wanted to do with this. The problem is it takes up space, but I do really like this. I don't see myself wearing it, but I do really like it. For now, I'll keep it somewhere, but I want to make use of this box more efficiently. But I'll figure that out off camera. Now, the last top. This is full to the top with scrap yarn. Okay, I have some leftover Thin awkward amount. I'm not going to use it again. I feel like if I want to do a colorwork thing for a hot water cover, I want a little bit of the same type of yarn. This is Novita Woollywood. It bled like crazy. Not going to use it again. I have some leftover hand-dyed yarn from Fan in Pink Dream, I believe. This is the mohair, and I use it for a hat. I believe that hat is too big, so I need to frog it and re-knit it. So definitely going to keep this and make a list of things I want to knit on. I have some leftover Noro Sonata. Beautiful color, so I do want to keep this for color work. I have some leftover of the blue hydrangea I used for my lento. Just now I threw away the scraps. Well, I'm just going to save this. Don't know for what, but I don't know. I have some leftover double Sunday from my storm sweater. It's quite a lot. I don't know if I can make a hat with this, with just this, or I need one extra skein, but definitely keeping this. I have leftover Filcolana Peruvian in Marzipan, 2 full skeins, keeping. Maybe I will do another project with this color, and I already own 2 skeins. I'm not too worried about different dye baths. We'll see. This is Peruvian in pink color. It's 187, and I use this for my weekend slip over v-neck. And I'm thinking with that I want to frog this. I mean, it's quite a bit of a sweater already. I want to frog this, and then I have this left over of the same yarn, and I also have maybe this pink, or maybe I want to buy some more of this yarn and make a Marseille sweater. So I will do stripes, like bright red stripes. I like the idea of pink with red stripes, or maybe green stripes, and then I can use the different dye bath for like the end at the wrist. Like when there's a red stripe in between, I don't think you will see the different dye baths. So I have enough yarn to do that. I don't wear that slip over right now. It's really hard to style, so that's my plan with that. Now I need to find some time to do it. I also have some Peruvian left over in a different color. Don't know the color name or anything. But I think I will keep it. I just like this yarn. This is the leftover Rico Make It Sweet that I used for my cardigan. Marzipan with this. For the meterage, I definitely needed 3 skeins, so I bought 3 skeins. I have more than one left. Don't know what I want to do with that, but this makes me happy, so I'm keeping it. Next, some green Pernilla. I like the idea of this color, but it's an awkward yarn weight. It's a sport weight, so I think I'm going to toss this. I have, well, let's do easier things first. I use this Vildar Tweedy color for the cardigan that's over here. I'm not going to use this again. Pink cotton yarn, not going to use it. I have Flora in quite a bit in hot pink. I don't know what I want to do with this. Do I want to keep this for a project? I mean, I'm working with Flora right now for the yellow storm sweater. I like that, but I don't really see myself making this. And how many pink heads do I need? I already own 2. So I think I'm going to destash this. I need to make some space. I have some leftover Cool Wool Big I used for mittens for myself, but it's superwash yarn. I think I'm going to destash this. Not really sentimental about it. I have some, what is this? Oh, Drops Daisy. I use this for my Lyon sweater. Maybe I will keep it, since I saved the other Daisy. Not sure. I also have one full skein of white Daisy. I think I'm going to save it. But the problem is with Daisy, if you don't know, it's a non-superwash merino from Drops. Beautiful price. Feels really nice and soft. Pills like crazy. So I can't really recommend it for like garments. But for an ornament in the Christmas tree, maybe it will be fine. I also have one skein left of Drops Flora in this brownish color. I do think this is a versatile color, so I think I'm going to keep it. Some merino extra fine dark brown. I'm not going to use that again. Lang Yarns Cash Merino for Babies and More. So it's 55% wool, 33% acrylic and 12% cashmere. I bought this at the sale someday. It's beautiful. And to be honest, I'm keeping this for one day, maybe for a baby knit. For someone else, for myself, don't know. So I want to keep this for someday. I have some Drops Lima. Oh man, brings back memories. Quite a lot of yarn. I use this for I use this for this one. But the color changed for because of the mohair that I used. This is enough for a sweater, for a hat for a man. For myself. I like blue hats. So I want to keep this, but it's going on a list of things I want to knit. A random ball of blue yarn, don't need it. Then I have quite a lot of black boucle yarn from Drops left over. I made a black boucle, it's laying over here, a vest thingy. I really like that, but boucle is hard to work with. And I've been saving this for more than 2 years now, so I'm not going to use it again. And lastly, I have Lima in black. I do like this yarn. It's a DK weight yarn from Drops. It's handy to have, but I'm really going to use black yarn? I don't really think so. Like, if I think about hot water bottle covers, I don't see myself using black. So I'm going to destash this as well. I'm going to take a picture and insert like the mess over here maybe in this video. I don't know. But I need to clear this out. I want to see how much scrap yarn I do have left now. Oh. I'm already stuck. I think I'm not going to knit with this. I think I'm going to be ruthless and de-stash the Novita Woollywood. And I'm going to put the scrap yarn back in. I do have quite a lot of DK weight scrap yarn. Like this is all the DK weight scrap yarn, so it's the bottom layer basically. And then this is going in. Do I want to save this? Well, maybe yes. Then the nicer scrap yarn, like the hand-dyed scrap yarn, can go in as well. Also these little thingies. And I will put this in here as well, that blown yarn that I maybe have plans for. And now it's only this full. So I think I will put the sock yarn in here as well. For now I have space. I don't know if I have space if I finish like a sweater and have some yarn left over, but that's not an issue for now. I hope you don't mind that I don't speed anything up in this video. It's just a long video. I hope you like it. Well, if you're still here with me, you probably will. So, I like it. And then I'm going to squish in that sock project in as well. Don't care. Need to sort that out soon, someday. And it closes. So yeah, this now is all my scrap yarn, and it's only yarn that I think I will use, hopefully. So I have a lot, I gotten rid of a lot of yarn. I do have this thing out for now. It looks cute over here, and I think I'm done. I just need to clean up everything that's on my bed and think about how I want to de-stash the yarn. Like I said, most of it will probably go to my local charity shop. It's just the easiest. I really feel like this is a clean slate. I don't have yarn laying around that I don't really know what I want to do with it. Then I feel this guilt of having yarn in stash that I don't want to use. So that's all gone. I have room for all my sweaters for now. Yeah, I'm really excited. I like the yarns that I have. I like the more luxurious yarn, or the nicer yarn. And yeah, I think I'm done. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed having a look in my yarn stash and just enjoyed this time together. Yeah, let me know what you have on your wish list for your yarn stash. For me, it probably will be more double Sunday. I really like this sweater, so maybe I want to knit more with that. I would love to knit with Knitting for Olive heavy merino. I haven't knitted with that, but my friend Heike raved about it yesterday. And other than that, I'm pretty satisfied at the moment. So I do have some hand-dyed yarn coming my way, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But I have 2 extra skeins of the wildflower. But I also ordered a sweater quantity from Fem, the Mindful Creators, for an Olga sweater. So if you remember her latest collection, the Meet Me at the Campfire collection, I ordered 3 skeins of moon gazing and 3 skeins of flannel. So those will get tossed in in this pile of hand-dyed yarn. It's just that little cubicle is for my hand-dyed yarn. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next podcast. Bye bye.